Alright, so it's Wednesday night, which means I get to play Shadows of Brimstone. Last week, our posse stopped the ritual. I appreciate the comments that you guys leave about the mistakes I make. It's really helpful. Unfortunately, I'm usually about, well, I've got 6 or 8 or 10 episodes all already filmed, but I do fix them eventually. But thank you, and keep the comments when I screw stuff up. I try and catch it as I go along. But it's time for this posse, which is actually a level 4 posse. Or level 3. I'll have to look. It's been a week. So this posse actually needs to go to town, especially the marshal and the saloon girl, and they are ready for a night in a bed, a nice sarsaparilla, and a little bit of rest. But let's see what size town they're going to. Oh, they're going to a large town. Alright, so if they go to a large town, that means they automatically have... Uh-oh, I dropped. They automatically have one travel hazard, and then they might actually get a second. Alright, so on a 1, 2, or 3, they actually get a second travel hazard. So let's do the lawman. He gets a second travel hazard. The bandito, he gets a second travel hazard. Saloon girl, she does not. And the lawman, he gets a travel hazard. So we're going to have a lot of travel hazards, and we're already looking pretty grim. So let's start with, the saloon girl, since she only has one travel hazard. Reds will be the 10 place, and white will be the 1's place. So 63. Snake oil salesman. You meet a traveling salesman on the road who excitedly opens up the sides of his cart and shows you his wares. He spins a good yarn about the medicinal quality of his tonics. Each hero must make a Cunning 5 test. If passed, you recognize a scam when you see one and pass on the deal. If failed, you eagerly buy some of the elixirs only to discover they are little more than flavored water and pungent herbs as the dust cloud from the salesman's cart disappears in the distance. You lose D6 times 25 gold, and you roll a D6. On a roll of a 6, one of the elixirs is actually worthwhile and you gain a tonic. Alright, so Cunning 5 test. We'll start with the saloon girl. Since it is hers, her cunning is 3. So let's see what happens. She passes. So she says, I remember you from before. This is all a fake. Alright, the marshal was Cunning 4. He passes. He was with the saloon girl, so he recognizes this guy for what he is. Alright, the bandito. He is a Cunning of 1. He fails. Alright, so he loses D6 times 25 gold. So he's lost 25 gold. I'll write that down. Let me put this here as something to remind me. But on a 6 he gets a tonic. He does not get a tonic. And now the lawman, who also has a Cunning of 4, kind of like the marshal, and he passes. So just the bandito, so just the criminal gets taken by the criminal. Alright, so that is the saloon girl's 1 travel hazard. Alright, so let's do the lawman's 2. So, red's the 10s, of course, so 24. Ooh, that's a low number, so that's probably bad. Darkstone Convoy. As you ride up the trail, you come across a convoy of wagons carrying a load of darkstone and armed guards. They tell you that the town up ahead is paying top dollar for any darkstone they can get their hands on. During your town stay, any darkstone shards sold by the heroes are worth an extra 25. Well, that's good because the lawman, or the marshal, has 8 darkstone. Alright, so we'll have to try and, you know what? They're an extra 25, so I will put a 25 token on a darkstone so we remember. And now his second travel hazard. Ooh, 54. Army convoy. Traveling the roads, the heroes come upon a massive U.S. convoy heading towards the same town to reinforce the outpost there. When the heroes reach town, any rolls on the campsite hazard chart or the town event chart are +1 to the roll. Wow, so these travel hazards have been pretty good for the marshal. Okay, so now it is time for the Banditos 2 travel hazards. 23. Living hills. Something's not right here. The hills surrounding the valley you are in seem to be shifting and stirring before your eyes. The road before you opens up to reveal a massive demonic maw waiting to devour you whole. Each hero makes an Agility 5 test. If passed, you get 15 experience and you escape it. If failed, you leap at the last moment. Any transport you were riding is devoured by the beast and you lose a sanity permanently at the horrific sight of the creature. Oh no. Alright, so everybody has to do an Agility 5 test. So, Saloon Girl's Agility is 4. Ooh, Agility 5. You know what? I don't want her losing. She's gonna use her grit. And one thing I do keep forgetting with her is every time she naturally passes a test, she's supposed to get 5 experience, and I keep forgetting that. We re-rolled and she still fails. Oh no. So she loses another sanity permanently. Okay. So that drops her down to a sanity of 17. Alright. The Marshal has an Agility of 5. And he passes, so he gets 15 experience. None of them are even close to their next level. Alright. The Lawman has an Agility of 2. But he passes. And the Bandito has an Agility of 2. Ooh, and he's got to use his grit and re-roll this. And he passes. And he's now gritless. Okay. Alright, now the the Bandito's second travel hazard is a 44. Rail line construction. You pass by a group of mutant rail workers working the cut to build a new rail line into the area. Recognizing you as heroes in the fight against darkness, they cheer. Each hero may heal 2d6 wounds sanity, any mix. Also, each hero may recover 1 grit for each mutation he has. So, well, the only person who has a mutation is the U.S. Marshal. So, he's got 2 grit now. And nobody is injured right now, so that one's sort of a worthless one. Alright, now the Lawman goes. His first travel hazard is a 52. Bandits. Waylaid by bandits on the road, the heroes fend off as many as they can. The bandits surround each hero individually. There are 5 bandits per hero, and each hero must roll a d6 to see how many of those bandits they defeat. For every bandit you defeat, gain 10 experience points. For each of your 5 bandits you do not defeat, lose 25 gold. 1 darkstone or 1 gear or artifact, your choice. Okay, so how many of the bandits do they defeat? So, the U.S. Marshal, he defeats all of them. So he gets 50 experience. Okay. Alright, Saloon Girl. She defeats 4 of the 5, so she gets 40 experience. But she loses 25 gold. Yep, she'll just lose the 25 gold. Now, next comes the Bandito. How many can he defeat? 3. We're getting less and less. So he gets 30 experience and he loses 50 gold. And now the Lawman, he can defeat 3, so he loses 50 gold and gets 30 experience. And now the Lawman's last Road hazard, a 64. Search party. You come across a search party scouring the land for a lost child. The child was taken in the night by a dark creature. They seem beaten down and weary as they tell you that this is the 5th child who have been taken and none have returned. Each hero may decide to press on to their destination or stop and help in search for the missing child. Any hero that decides to help must make a Spirit 6 test. If at least 3 successes are rolled between all the heroes helping, the child is found and rescued. Each hero helping gains d6 times 100 as a reward and may remove d3 corruption points. Otherwise, the child is lost for good and every hero that helped loses 1 sanity permanently. Spirit 6 test. So Saloon Girl has 3, U.S. Marshal has 3, Lawman has 1, Bandito has 3. 6, 9. Yeah, I think everybody's going to participate. So we'll I guess it doesn't matter. So Saloon Girl's 3, that's 1. Lawman's 3, that's 2. All right, Bandito's 3, that's 3. They all pass. So pass. So they get, each hero helping gains d6 times 100. So let's see how much they get. They get 600 each. Or should I roll that separately? Well, it says each hero helping gains d6 times 100. Alright, so we'll just say that was the Saloon Girl. We'll roll each of them separately. Marshall gets 400. Bandito gets 400, and the Lawman, oh, he gets 200. It's off screen, but it's 200. So, Lawman gets 200, and the Bandito gets 400. And do they get anything else with that? Oh, and they can remove D3 corruption points. Alright, so who has corruption? Alright, the Saloon Girl does have some corruption, so she can take 1 away, so she's back to 1 corruption. The Marshal only has 1, so we won't bother. And the Bandito and the Bandito has 1, so we won't bother rolling because he just has the 1. Alright, so actually, overall, that was pretty good. So now we need to see, we got a large town, we need to see what kind of town they are in. A 4. 4 is a plague town. Alright, so let me set up the plague town and I will be back. Alright, so the plague town always has a doctor's office and a church, which is good for us since we need so much healing. And then we'll just randomly pick the other things. So a smuggler's den, a saloon, a gambling hall, sheriff's office, blacksmith, and a frontier outpost. Alright, so Plague Town always includes a doc's office and a church. Unwanted attention markers are ignored while in the Plague Town. Anytime a hero rolls a 7 on a location event chart, that hero has a brush with the plague, and then we have to roll a d6 to see what happens. Alright, so they're all going to stay at the hotel. They will spend their $10 each. There are 4 of them. You know, I'm just going to let $10 each. The lawman will pay it and everybody can pay him back later. Alright, so first thing is a daily event. All rolls on the location event chart in town today are -1 to the roll. Oh no. Because they need to go. So the Bandito's going to go to the gambling hall so he can buy some whiskey. Everybody else is going to the doc's office, which means 3 rolls. So something bad is bound to happen, but these guys have to go. I looked through the rules. I saw nothing that said that multiple heroes can't go to the same place. Seems odd that you would roll on the event chart and you could have conflicting events, but I guess that's just how I'll have to do it. So we'll start with the... I'm sorry, he's going to the saloon, I meant. So we'll start with the Bandito. We'll have his roll. So it's an 8, which is a 7. A good time. A round of drinks makes you forget about the dark world outside these walls. Pay $10 and recover 1 grit for use in town. Okay, so he'll do that. However, he does have a brush with the plague as well. So we will roll a d6 to see what happens. 6. Take 2 d6 horror hits as you witness the ghastly effects around you. Alright. 5 horror hits. And he saves 2, so he takes 3 sanity damage. 1, 2, 3. And now for the doc's office folks. Alright, so the lawman. He rolls a 9, which means it's an 8. And that +1 was on the event chart. I wonder if that... I'm going to have to relook it and see if that may just offset the -1. We'll see. Hold on. The town event chart. So that is not a location event chart. So, okay, so his is an 8. All too familiar, no event. Okay. Saloon Girl rolls... well, she rolls an 8, but that drops to a 7, which is nothing. Okay, Okay, she did not roll a 7. It got adjusted to a 7, because he rolled a 7. So there's just nothing. Alright, and now the lawman. He rolls an 11, which becomes a 10, which becomes expert surgeon. The doc is an expert surgeon, is really on top of things today, and he's only had 1 or 2 drinks. All attempts at surgery made today are +1 to the roll on the chart. Well, that's good, because these guys have multiple surgeries they need to deal with. So, we're going to start with the lawman and his injured leg. Well, let's start with the Bandito so we can just get him done. He is going to buy 3 whiskeys for 150. And let's see if there's anything else he wants to do. His luck's only 2. This is cunning. His cunning's only 1. Yeah, he's not going to be a good gambler, is he? You know what? I think that's all he's going to do. So now, the lawman. He is going to try some surgery. +1 on the roll. And it is, so he is going to pay D6 times 50. Ooh, he's going to pay 250 gold. Now he'll roll. Ooh. He's a 4, that's a 5. Success. Oh, wait a minute. No, you only roll 1. Okay. Alright, so now he will roll. Ooh, that's a 2 because of the +1. Failed. The injury mutation is not healed, and the doc refunds half your money for the failed attempt. So, alright. He's going to continue to be -1 for his move, but he's +1 for his move, so he just ends up as a wash. Alright. Saloon Girl has 2 injuries, so on the first injury she will pay 250 gold. Which is okay, because she's got over 4,000. So this will be for her internal bleeding. 2, that's a 3. Failed, she gets half of her money back. This is not going so well. Alright, so now her other injury. Oh, she's going to pay 300. This is for her crippled hand. 2 failed, so she gets so minus 150. Wow. Okay, so far this has not done us very well. All right, the lawman now, he's going to pay 300 for his first injury. He's going to start with his slashed leg. 4, it's a 5. Success. All right, so he is minus a slashed leg, but he paid 300. And now he'll pay for the second surgery, 200. And this is for his broken collarbone. 4, 5, so it's healed. And now for his last, he's going to try and get rid of this mutation. Oh, he's only got to pay 50 for that. Let's see what happens. 3, which goes up to a 4. Success. His mutation is healed. So he paid 50 and now he doesn't have the chest portal. Alright, and now do they want to do anything else? Corruption's not a problem. Let's see, how are they doing? Saloon Girl's got lots of stuff. You know, the lawman probably should buy some bandages. So he's going to buy 2 bandages. That's 100. I think that's it. I think that's, well, yep, I think they're done. Now they have to roll on the town event. Okay. So now they roll for a town event. Alright, 2 dice. That's a 9, but they do get the +1 on this for their town event. So that's a 10. Dirty poker. The campsite is filled with drinking, laughing, and games of cards over a rickety table or a barrelhead. You may make a luck 4 test. Every 4 plus rolls gains 25. For every 1 roll, lose 50. So who has luck? Alright, you know what? We're going to let the saloon girl, because she's got a luck of 4, she's going to try this. So, for every 4 plus gain 25, and she didn't roll a 1, so she gets 75 gold. That's not bad. And that is the end of day 1. And we reset this back to 1. Everybody goes to the hotel. Now, let's see what we want to do for day 2. First thing we have to do is a daily event card. Wounded soldiers. Each hero may give up their day in town to help the wounded. Make a lore 3 test and gain 10 experience for every 3 plus rolled. If at least 1 6 is rolled, you may also draw a gear card as a dying soldier passes it on to you. You know what? Let's see, a lore 3. We got a lore of 6, we got a lore of 2, a lore of 2, and a lore of 3. You know what? We'll do that. We'll give up the day in town since we've reset to 1. Alright, so the saloon girl. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Alright. 10 experience for every 3, and she rolls a 6, so she gets a gear card. Knuckle Dusters. Once per turn, you may use 1 grit to gain +2 combat. You know what? She is going to sell that for 225 gold. So she's going to get 225 gold. And she got 1, 2, 3, 40 experience. Alright. And now it is the U.S. Marshal's turn. He has a lore of 2. So he doesn't get anything. The lawman has a lore 2. He gets 20 experience. And the Bandito has a lore of 3. Maybe he's got a shot at doing something good. Yeah, so he gets 30 experience and a gear card. And he gets 2 bandage tokens. Awesome. And that fills his side bag. And now, is there a town daily event? There is not. So now we will pay another 10 gold each. Well, Saloon Girl can pay it this time. Draw a daily event. Town daily event. All prices in town today are plus $10. Well, okay. Alright, well let's figure out what people are going to do. I have, you know what? Saloon Girl and the Lawman are going back to the doctor's office. The Bandito has nothing he can do, so you know what? He's just going to leave town. He's going to wait for everybody outside of town. The sheriff is going to go to the frontier outpost and sell some of this darkstone, especially because they're each plus 25 this go round. So for the sheriffs, nothing happens. So we're now on day 2. He's got an 8. Seeing the flags fly high in the wind atop the outpost walls, your spirits are raised that you may take some respite in this place. Recover a grit and fully heal your health and sanity. Well, he'll take the grit, but he doesn't need health and sanity. Alright, Lawman. He rolls a 10 at the doc's office. Expert Surgeon, plus 1 to the chart. That's good. Now the Saloon Girl. She rolls an 8. No event. Smell of death, all too familiar. Alright, so we'll start with the U.S. Marshal at the Frontier Outpost. So he is going to sell 4 Darkstone to start with. So 25 per. Alright, so 10, that's 250. 250, 300, 350, sorry. 350. So 400 plus another 100, so he gets 500 gold. And I think he's just going to stop there with selling. And is there anything he wants to buy? He doesn't need a pickaxe. He's got a dynamite. Nah, he's got some pretty good stuff already. Well, desert boots, free attack once per fight, 1 combat, use the peril die for damage. That's just once per fight, not once per turn. No, I'll keep his adventure boots, which gives him agility and move. Alright, so he's actually done there. Now we'll get to seeing if we can heal some people. It's a good thing that the Saloon Girl has a lot of money. So, alright, her first surgery on her mangled hand is only, is it 50 per? Yeah, 50. So only 50. But does it do anything? 6. Impressive scar. The injury and mutation is healed and gained plus 2 health for the new scar. Alright, so she's minus 50. Zero mangled hand. And plus 2 health. Alright, we're going to try again on her internal bleeding. That's going to cost her 150. And it fails. And it can never be healed now at the doc's office. So a 1 means that it can never be healed at the doc's office. She's going to have to go somewhere else to try and get that internal bleeding healed. Alright, so now the Lawman, it's going to cost him 100. for his slashed leg, and he can never be healed at the doc's office. Okay, so this was another wasted trip. Now it's a 2, so let's see. Do we have a town event? Of course we do. So we'll reset this back. We'll roll 2 dice. And it is a 5. Because of our extra 1 we get. Stories of terror. Getting sleep in your tent is nearly impossible as the drunken prospectors tell tales of terror around the campfires. Many of their stories sink into your mind, leaving you shaken to the core. Make a lore 5 test to avoid lasting nightmares. If successful, get some experience, 10 experience. If failed, take D6 sanity damage, ignoring willpower. Alright, so it's a good thing that the Bandito left. So we are taking a lore 5 test. Alright, so Saloon Girl has a lore of 6. So she passes, so she gets 10 experience. Lore of 2 for the Lawman. He passes, 10 experience. I mean, that was the Marshal. The Lawman also has a lore of 2. And he passes and gets 10 experience. Oh, well, that wasn't so horrible. And that's the end of this day. So they're going to stay another day. And they're going to spend, this time it's only 30. And the sheriff, you know what? Let's just make it 20. The sheriff is done. Sheriff's not going to stay. He's going to go hang out with the Bandito. I mean the Marshal. Yeah, the U.S. Marshal. Keep an eye on him. Alright, so a daily event. Town daily event. All prices today are -10. Okay, all items. And you know what? I've been using the campsite hazard chart instead of the town event chart. So I'll just go with it. That's fine for right now. Alright, so I want to go visit the campsite for a doc's. They want to go visit the campsite. I think it's on the back side of this, so let me double check this real quick. Nope, it's not. Okay. Okay. So I have somehow lost the campsite. Alright, we just had one of those. Okay, I found the campsite chart. Trying to decide whether the Smuggler's Den or the campsite. Well, Smuggler's Den cannot be attended by the Lawman. But the Saloon Girl can go there. More likely to have, it's cheaper, but more likely to have a problem. Yeah, you've got a 60% chance of, well, no, yeah, 66% chance of actually losing a health permanently as opposed to only on a 1. So I guess they're both going to go to the campsite. They'll roll on their campsite chart here. Lawman is a 5. Step right up. Marius Flanagan is the name, and I've got a show for you. So there's a traveling circus in town, and they have set up a tent in the campsite to wow the locals and travelers. Wandering the tent, you see a good show with a strongman, sword swallower, and even a dancing bear. It's not cheap. Pay D6 times 20, and you can recover a grit. So, alright, so he will pay, 120 gold. Take that out of his gold. And he's going to pay 250 to try and heal his slashed leg. And he will try and recover. His slashed leg is a 3. He's going to use his grit to re-roll that. Doesn't say you can't use a grit. So he's going to use a grit to re-roll that. 5. Success. He is healed. So, and now the saloon girl will roll hers. Oh, she rolls a 5. Same thing. Step right up. So she spends only 60 gold. And now she pays her 250. And let's see what happens to her. Ugh. That's a 2. That's a fail. She'll use that grit she just got. And a 6, so she is now healed of her internal bleeding. Alright, so this was a rough visit. But let's see if there's anything else they want to do while they're there. What else can they do? They don't need any stuff. Nope, that's it. That's all they're going to do. Now we've got to roll to see if there is a event. There is not. So the guys all meet up. They've gotten healed. They've spent a ton of money. They made some money. But they sit around having their sarsaparillas, and they see storm clouds gathering overhead, getting darker and more ominous by the moment. A powerful wind sweeps over the land, and the tribal drums and chanting of the Black Fang echo through the canyons in the distance. The Black Fang have set up altars and are performing a corrupt rain dance to summon a storm from the void. Alright, so this one actually will use the canyons. When I get back, I will set this up to use the canyons, and we'll go over mission goals, the special rules, and all of that kind of stuff as they go try and stop this rain dance and whatever will be coming out of the void. So, until next time, I think this has been a pretty long town visit, so I'm going to break this up. I'm going to stop here, and next time it will be Rain Dance.